Hi everyone, let's talk now about the correct treatment of hidden lines and center lines and how we're going to draw them. So when we draw hidden lines and center lines, it's necessary to describe every part of an object. So if we can see it or not, we've got to represent it in the view that we're looking at. So interior and exterior features are always projected the same way. So when we can see them, we're going to draw them with visible lines or object lines. When we can't see them, we're going to draw them with hidden lines. So hidden lines are dark and thin, they're dashed lines, and they're used to indicate the surface, edge, or contour of an object that can't be seen or is hidden from view. Hidden lines are drawn approximately 1/8 of an inch as far as our dashes goes, and 1/16 of an inch for our gaps between them. This is a picture of the average hidden line conventions, how they should be drawn. So when we draw hidden lines, I've got several shots that's going to show you how they're done. If you notice on this slide, it shows you A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And this is the different ways that hidden lines can be represented on a drawing. So in example A, if you notice up at the top of the front view, we've got A coming into an object line where the red circle's at. If you look below, you see that there are no gaps drawn. That hidden line should touch the object line. Over to the right, they show you the incorrect method of doing it. All right, in B, we've got two hidden lines forming a corner. When we do this, you should join the corners. They should touch. You don't want to leave them open, okay? That's if there is an interior corner, all right? In C, what we're showing here is where a hidden line and an object line come head to head toward each other. Pretend like the hidden line and the object line, the horizontal ones, are on a train track coming toward each other. When you do this, the more important line always has the right of way. So the visible line goes all the way to the corner and the hidden line backs up. If you notice in the incorrect example, they show them touching. This kind of looks like the object line keeps on going. That's the reason why you back the hidden line off. Anytime we've got three hidden lines or three hidden edges coming together, we want to join those as well. This happens like what we're seeing here in example D. If you think about a drill bit and we drill that hole down and it doesn't go all the way through, I mean, that's what you see in the front view and the right side, then we want to form that corner. And it's the very same thing in example E when we just got two edges coming together like that. We want to form that corner and not leave it open. In F, what we've got is a curved feature that comes around. It's hidden up in the top view, and we've got a curved feature in the back of that view, and then it goes straight like a slot. Well, what we want to do is we want to take the curved feature to the center line and then back off the straight lines. If you notice, that's what it's showing us in the correct view. So start the arc on the center line and finish it on the center line, and then back your horizontal lines or your straight lines off of that. Okay, in G, what's happening here is we've got a place, and this is in the right side, we've got a visible line drawn and a hidden line crosses it. In a perfect world, what we would do is we would draw the visible line, the hidden line would have the gap or the break centered on that visible line so it wouldn't cross. If you notice over on the incorrect one, it crosses. It kind of looks like a plus sign or a T. I will tell you this, when you're using AutoCAD, AutoCAD does this mathematically, and it represents how long the hidden line actually is and determines how many dashes it needs to put in there. So that's one of those things that you can't control in AutoCAD. It might cross that line. It might end on the line, one of the short dashes, and then start again beside of it, which really looks odd. But when it's in AutoCAD, there's really nothing you can do to stop that. Okay? So how about two hidden lines crossing? This is in example H in the top view. Again, the ideal situation, we would break one of the two hidden lines, the gap, and then the other one would pass through it. You don't want to do where they cross if you can possibly help it, because that sort of looks like a center line. That's the reason why that doesn't look so great. Okay, but again, if you're using AutoCAD, you really don't have any control over that. Now let's talk a little bit about center lines. And if you notice here in the picture, we've got, this is a cylinder that we're showing with a hole drilled in it. And that's two of our ways that we're going to see center lines, whether it's a hole drilled or a cylinder. So what is a center line? Well, it shows circularity and symmetry. A center line is an alternating series of long dashes and short dashes. The long dashes are about 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches long. The short dashes are about 1/8 of an inch. Anytime you have a short dash, whether it's a hidden line or a center line, the short dashes will always be about 1/8 of an inch long. The gaps between them are always going to be about 1/16. You always start a center line with a long dash. And again, center lines are used to represent the linear symmetrical axes. Now, what's an axis? That's the direction a part goes. Okay? So if we see it as a circle, let's go back to that image that we had a minute ago here. So we've got a cylinder and we've got a hole drilled in it. So where we see the cylinder and the hole in the front view, it shows up as a circle. You've got two center lines because we're showing symmetry. Because it's the very same from front to back. If you cut that along the horizontal plane, it would be exactly the same if we cut it along the vertical plane. So that's why we have two there. Anytime you draw a circle, you're going to have two center lines crossing each other, and that point in the middle is going to be the center mark. You want the little short dashes in the middle. Again, AutoCAD may not do this sometimes, so you've got to be careful with it. But you just have to let it do what it's going to do. If you notice in the right side view, that cylinder looks like a rectangle, and the hidden lines for the hole going through it are also straight. Well, the reason why we draw the center line in that view, and notice there's only one center line, that shows the direction of the plane, the axis that we're going through. So you're always going to do that. The direction the hole is cut is the best way I can phrase that, okay? Every circle and arcs that are larger than 1/4 of an inch should have two center lines that intersect at their center point, and they're going to have short dashes there. When a circle or an arc is shown, the short dashes represent the center mark. It's going to look like a plus sign. So let's look at this picture again. Our center lines again represent circularity or symmetry. Notice there's no hole in this image, it's just a cylinder. So that's what we're going to show. So the axis of symmetry show left to right, top to bottom, where it's a circle. In the right side view, it's just left to right. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about holes. For holes, center lines are used to show the locations in the views where the hole is visible. This is done with two center lines crossing each other at the center of the hole. So if you notice in this image down below what we've got, and I'm going to move my mouse over, if you notice here, and then here, this is where we see the circular features. We also see rounded edges or arcs in these views. If you notice, the center line is going to extend about 1/4 of an inch beyond the circular feature. And I say where the red arrows are at, but anywhere you've got a circle or a feature, they're going to extend out 1/4 of an inch. If you notice here, this arc is a circular feature. It's just not a complete circle. So going to the left, this center line is going to go 1/4 of an inch past. Notice going to the right, it only goes 1/4 of an inch past the hole. The reason why, this is the last circular feature on this side. On the left, you've got the hole, but you've also got the arc, so it's got to come all the way out here. So this long dash is shorter than this long dash. Up and down, same thing, 1/4 of an inch past the arc, 1/4 of an inch past the arc. And these are identical on this side. In the front view, 1/4 of an inch past the arc, 1/4 of an inch past the arc, 1/4 of an inch past the arc. Then we've got a line drawn down through here. And you think, well, why didn't you stop it here 1/4 of an inch past the hole? They're using this line to show symmetry of the entire object. So that's why they drew it all the way down, because it's identical to the left as it is to the right. In the top view for this, notice our hidden lines represent the big hole, then the center line 1/4 of an inch past each way here. You never end a center line on an object line. And then here for the two small holes, again, hidden line, same thing here, and then 1/4 of an inch beyond. That's our slides for hidden lines and center lines. I hope this helps. Have a great day.